Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SF1 GP1. This is the Belgian Grand Prix. No, your eyes are not fooling you. We are back live as we had a race yesterday around France that was to deal with their postponed race due to Xbox Live issues. But this is our normal race evening. These guys from ultimate the ultimate race of the season here at the Belgian Grand Prix. We have 9 drivers in Q3. A little bit of rain, controversy in the first bit of qualifying Q1 and Q2. However, we are live now with Q3. Let's see who can possibly grab that pole position. See a little bit of rain still coming down, but it looks like everybody's opted to go for the dry compound. I tonight am by myself in the comms booth. So you're going to listen to my lovely voice all evening. I'm going to try to do the broadcast as best as possible, pick up on the action as best as possible. Let's see, it looks like Stig is the first out on track, so we're going to ride with him. Give him a little bit of TV time. So see what kind of time he can get himself stuck into as a banker lap around this track. Probably one of the hardest tracks to set a perfect lap in for qualifying. You're going to have 2 runs in Q3, and that's about it. So you have to kind of time everything to perfection. Make sure you hit every curve the way you want to. Make sure you run that perfect lap, because if you don't, you could find yourself out of Q1, Q2, or at the bottom of the Q3 pile. Looks like Stig is attacking this track pretty strongly on his out lap, but we'll see how he gets his time on. Track was intermediate condition in Q2, and it was full wets on Q1, so let's see how we get into it. Looks like everybody is on the soft compound, so that track should be relatively dry. Track is fully dry. You'll see a little bit of the rain still coming down, but it's not affecting the drivers. It's not opting for them to go to a intermediate condition. Looks like it's ready to go. Let's ride on board with Stig. Let's see what time he can get himself stuck into this evening. Now, if you don't know, since I am by myself, I'm probably not going to talk as much just to save my voice through qualifying, but we're going to ride on through. I'm thinking right around probably like a 45, 145 for these guys. 144, could probably see a 143. Stig goes really wide, switches the car just a bit, but is able to kick on and keep going forward. So a couple of the drivers that are in Q3 right now, I'm going to make a mention that do have a 5 grid place penalty for some of the controversy that happened in Q1. Mostly it was all just Q1. Terminator has a 5 grid spot penalty as well as Raisin has one. I think that is it between the top guys in Q3 right now that will have a grid spot penalty going into the to the race itself. Let's jump on board with Ulster 6 POV. Little wide tax and curb just a bit. A little bit on the curb there as well. A lot of curb on the inside left there. That is a curb that I stay away from. If I touch that, I'm pretty much off into the wind. He does set a purple, but he's so far the only guy, or the first guy out on track, so it's just going to be him that's going to set the purple. Into Sector 3 he goes to finish this banker lap. What time is he going to post? Good job by him getting himself into the Q3 area. He has been struck by a little bit of bad luck and bad form in the last couple of races. Did really well last night to pick up, I think it was P4 in the French Grand Prix. So really good stream of form. Sets a 47.3. Who might be next? It looks like it might be some of the McLaren guys. One of the guys bounces way off there. So here comes Harrison, going to be set the next fast lap. Can he top a 147.3? He does. He goes for a 145.5. Looking through, it looks like Pepsi is going to be the next guy across. Goes 146.3. Splits the Mercedes and the Alpha driver. Who might be next? Let me look over. It looks like it's going to be Raisin who's going to set. No, he's on an out lap. How about Benny? Benny, he's on an out lap as well. Goat is in the garage. So who might be? It's going to be Daigero who's on a flyer. So we're going to ride with Daigero. I unfortunately did not actually, Tom. I watched a bit of it, but I heard you won, so congratulations. Probably one of my favorite tracks. It is definitely a track that you can attack the entire time on. and it's really hard to pull away from a toe on that track. But here, gonna try dive back into this. Daigero sets a purple sector 2. He was top of the leaderboard for a long while in Q2, right before Raisin put in the fastest lap. Let's see if Daigero can get himself in contention for that pole position this evening. Taking the last bit of the chicanes there. One to the right, one to the left before you get the car straight. DRS is open, crossing the line. He's going to go top, 144.5. Really quick lap from Daigero. Who might be next? Looks like it's going to be our Mercedes driver, but he is on an out lap. Is Harrison? Harrison's not setting a faster lap, so we're going to go on a Terminator who's on an out lap. How about Pepsi? I think he's on a flyer now himself. He is. Actually, he's not. He's going to pull this one in. So it's going to be Raisin who's going to set the next fastest lap. He is running really low on fuel, though, so he's going to have to be careful. As I take a nice big sip of my coffee. Let's see what kind of time Raisin can get himself stuck into. I wonder if he's going to dive for the pits because he is dangerously low in fuel. However, he does set the quickest sector in 2 right now. So he's definitely on a flyer. Let's see how far he can get himself up on that leaderboard. Yellow sector 2, it looks like, for a Mercedes moving out of the way. Here comes Raisin. He's going to cross the line. What is he going to set? Is going to be 143, 144.4. Puts him P2 currently, just behind Daigero by 3/10. Something has happened to not F1. He's turned around, spinning the car. So he's on an outlap. Just want to make sure he takes it easy. He's missing an end plate, so he's definitely going to have to pit. And he's having trouble really taking control of that car. He's riding on board. Is Stig going to pull it into the garage? He is. Raisin, I'm sure, is going to have to do the same. Daigero dives for the pits. Not is probably going to dive for the pits. Let's ride on board with Terminator. Is he just ahead? He is ahead of Benny. Benny has invalidated his lap, so he's pulled it into the garage. And Goat sets the fastest with the purple sector in Sector 1. So he's flying right now. Let's jump back on board with Terminator. So if I'm going to give my predictions right now, because there's a couple names that you would expect to be in Q3, but have not made it into Q3 this evening. We actually only had 12 goers in Q2, which is kind of bizarre. Terminator dives for the pit, so he's not happy about this lap. So we're going to jump back with Goat. So prediction-wise, I think you're definitely going to see Raisin up there. Daigero's been really quick this evening. I think he's going to be a contender for the top 3. And I'm not going to throw out there. If Terminator, Benny, Goat can collect a lap, Harrison can collect a lap, all of these guys are going to be fighting for the top 3. As Goat sets the fastest sector purple in 2. Looks like Raisin has run out of fuel, so he's just crawling back to the pits. But here comes Goat. He's going to come up to the last right chicane, then to the left. Correct the car, get it straight enough so you can put the throttle down. DRS is open. He's going to cross the line. Is he going to go top? He does. 143.4 for Goat. Very, very quick lap. Can he maintain that pace and possibly collect himself a pole position at the Belgian Grand Prix? Looks like Daigero wants to have a say at it. He's on his way out for his final go at it. Raisin pulls into the pit, so he's going to want to get in and get out as quick as possible. Harrison, I think that's Harrison on his way out. Yes, he's coming out. Not is on for an out lap, it seems. Terminator still singing in the pits. Benny is on an out lap. So here we go. Last chance to get yourself on top of that board on the left. See if you can get yourself pole position. Start P1 with a clear track ahead of you for the race. Give these guys just a bit of time to warm, because I don't think anybody is really on a flyer. I think Goat's trying to go for another one, so we're going to ride with Goat, see if he's improved. We'll come down to the Sector 2 line, see if he's down on his time or if he's up on his time. He's really pushing. He's got a low fuel situation, though. Coming up to the end of Sector 2, is he down? He is actually down by 2/10 on his time, so he's improved. Let's see if he can get himself further up on that leaderboard to make it a little bit more difficult for Raisin and Daigero. Really good job by Goat this evening. Coming across, straightening the car out. He is definitely running that Abu Dhabi helmet, but he's going to cross the line and improve by a 30 or 43.4. So he's just put a lot of time between himself and some of the guys that are running here. Benny's now on a flyer, so we're going to ride with Benny. Really good to see Benny driving around. He is driving for one of his best mates, Goomba's Reliant team this evening. Let's see if he can have a good show. Get a lot of points for that Renault team. Taxi curves beautifully. I do love this view. A little bit on the grass. Gets a lot of grass, actually. That might cost him a couple tenths. He's really, really attacking this track. Let's ride on board with Benny, shall we? A couple of people seem might have taken out some of those brake beater boards, as I didn't see as many as usual. Turn the car in real hard for this long backstretch. Goes purple in Sector 2, yellow flag in Sector 2. Looks like it's for McLaren. It's probably Brother Goat. It looks like he's just moving out of the way for some of the guys that are setting a quick lap. Can Benny get himself in contention for a pole position this evening? Slows the car just enough for the last two chicanes. Set the car straight. Throttle down. DRS is open. It's going to be a little slower, 145.4. So puts on P5 respectively. Not has yet to set a flyer, so we're going to jump with him. Where's Terminator and all this? Okay. He's in Sector 2 now. Sector 2 and 3 yellow. Looks like Goat's moving out of the way for everybody. Can Goat's time? Daigero doesn't improve at a 43.4. That not goes a 43.1 for pole position currently. Daigero, Brother Goat is going to pull into the pits. Here goes Raisin. Can he have a say at pole position? Looks like Pepsi has invalidated his lap. Where is Stig in this matter? Coming across the line now. We're going to ride with Stig. Can he get himself up there? Goes P4. Harrison goes P2, so 43.3. Puts out Brother Goat. I think Terminator is going to be one of the next guys to cross the line. Pepsi has invalidated, so he's not going to be able to set a better time. So we're going to ride with Terminator, see if he can get himself on top of that leaderboard. He does have a 5 grid spot penalty. Across the corner, taxi chicane nicely, gets the car straightened out. Little bit of a twitch in that rear end, gets P5, so we're going to bump with Raisin. Let's see if he can get himself stuck into a good sector. Here we come to finish out qualifying. Where's he going to finish? Goes P2. So he's going to go from P2 down to P6, I believe it is. 5 grid spot penalties. So it is actually going to start P7 for the race. A really good showing for those guys in Q3. A lot of quick times. Very, very, very trying qualifying session. You had full wets, and then you had intermediates, and then you had full dries. Running down the order, not F1 has scored himself pole position for the Belgian Grand Prix, followed by Raisin, Harrison in P3, Goat P4, Daigero P5, Terminator P6, who unfortunately will also drop down the grid as he has a 5 grid spot penalty. Stig P7, Benny P8, and Pepsi in P9. That is it for your qualifiers in Q3. So now we're going to move on to the 5-minute complimentary break these drivers will have, and we'll wait for them to stretch, get a glass of water or an adult beverage, whatever they prefer, and we're going to sit back tight and wait for them to get ready to go. We'll set off for the formation lap, and we will have ourselves one heck of a interesting Belgian Grand Prix ahead of us. So viewers, stay tuned. I'll do my best to try to talk for a little bit. I would have, dropped the tables and stuff, but seeing that they made up their French Grand Prix yesterday, points are going to be all over the place. But ladies and gentlemen, they have a dry race, so a little bit different this week. They usually have a dry qualifying and then a wet race, but it's really nice to see that these guys have entered the Belgian Grand Prix, and they're all going to have a dry race to contend with. So clear sailing from start to finish. As long as there's no incidences, this should be action-packed. All right, looks like these guys are ready to go. Let's make sure that they are all through for the formation lap. Looks like everybody's pulled away nice and tidy. Here we go. We're going to start the Belgian Grand Prix. Everybody is away, so everybody was ready. I did see one of the drivers early up just a bit ready, so that might have to be looked at. But look at this. Probably exactly what Harrison was hoping for. He is the Mercedes team manager. Him himself, his reserve driver, not F1, are starting this race, P1 and P2 respectively. Brotigo, really good showing in qualifying, finds himself up to P3. Daiguero's P4, Stig P5. Can this be the turnaround of the part of the season that Stig was looking for? He's going to have to maintain everybody warming those tires up. This is going to be quite an intense first lap from a lot of these guys. 19 drivers are looking to battle 22 laps of this famous Spa track. Can they maintain and have a good clean race? Let's find out. Just a bit to go. Attic down to P14. No, he does not like the rain, and he was greeted by a lot of rain in Q1. I think he had enough of it, so he's going to look to have a nice drive-through race. Let's look at the tire situation, shall we? So a lot of guys on the softs and a lot of guys on the mediums. Nobody has considered the hard, which I wouldn't expect because the hard compound, you can actually, the tire deg at this track is actually pretty low. So you can attack the track with a soft compound, then to a medium compound. Leave those hards in the paddock just in case you need to have a nice little change of strategy. So looking through, everybody's on their way through. Right back with not F1, so the two Mercedes have split strategies here. One on the soft, one on the medium compound, so not F1 will be able to take those tires a little bit longer than his teammate, but this way they do not double stack into the race. Daguerre's right up there running with these guys. Where did Goat go here? He's backed off a bit, so just making sure he can get those tires warmed up. Loading up into the grid. Here we go. Everybody getting those tires as warm as possible right before they pull up to their actual respective spot on this grid before we have lights out and we are away for this Grand Prix. Get pumped, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a barnstormer of start. Hopefully everybody keeps it clean into turn one. As you've seen real F1, you've seen quite some stacking here. Looks like Livid is going to pull up to the rear, and this guy should be ready to go. There's Give me a good start. That is not a good one. Come on. There we go. Waiting for those 5 red lights to go out at the Belgian Grand Prix. They are lit. And they are out. Here we go. Non-F1 did not start off the grid. I think he's gotten stuck. Wow, that's a surprise. So here we go. Jumping back through. Everybody, I see a bit of carbon fiber flying already. It looks like one of the racing points have gone pushed out wide. Up through. So Harrison gets a dream start. Up through. There's a glitch. Oh, that was a little dangerous. Not sure what happened there. So Not is out of the race. Bit argy-bargy here at the back. Can I go up to the front, please? There we go. Looks like Goat has had a good run on Harrison, so Harrison's fallen down to P2. Goat now in the lead of this race. Daiguerre P3. Whoa, look at Stick getting out wide, fighting against the other. I think that might have been Racing. Not if one has left the session. Can understand why. It looks like it's still Green Racing. Here we go. The Ferrari Williams tackling a bit of a bump there from... looks like also Stick is now missing an end plate, so he's going to have to hang on to that car as much as possible until the soft or the medium compound come into play. Whoa, there goes a Ferrari out wide. Oh, that was Robbie. Oh, no. Here we go. That's definitely probably going to be a safety car situation. Not sure what happened there. Safety car is out, so a lot of these guys, Pepsi gets a severe collision with Attic. So there you go. When it rains, it pours. Brother doing well to maintain P1, so he should be able to stay out. I think possibly Harrison, if he wants, he can dive for the pits and put on the hard compound, but I think he's going to stay out on that soft compound. Daiguerre doing really well in P3, raising P4 now, Stig P5, Benny in P6. Let's look at the guys who have lost positions here. We have Pepsi down 4, Robbie down 3, Rashi down 2, Attic down 2. I feel like Attic and a couple of the other guys are going to dive for the pits here anytime momentarily. Get the tire compound back up for you. A couple of the guys do dive for the pits. It looks like Pepsi stove. It looks like Robbie stove, Attic stove. Speedy Salmon is in a reserve for the Red Bull. He's guiding for it. Enzo is up 7 places, Carlos. Sometimes you just keep it clean, come from the back, and you can have a beautiful race from there on. A couple guys getting a little archy-bargy here behind the safety car, so we're going to ride with the safety car. I will make mention that Harrison needs to win this race to keep the championship alive between himself, and that is commentator's curse, so hopefully Harrison can get himself back in, because I can't break away from the stream to invite him back in. So that is going to be a little unfortunate. That's sometimes why I like having a co-com, so I can ask him to do it. Harrison, if you're listening to me, get yourself back in. Unfortunately, I think your car might drop down just a bit. Let me get these delta up for you. It looks like Daiguerre, will he be allowed to overtake the Mercedes? I don't think so. We're gonna ride with Goat. How's everybody doing? Let's see some of the guys at the back. Atticus dove for the medium compounds. Robbie's put on a new set of soft. Pepsi's put on a new set of soft. Speedy has put on a new set of mediums. And that is going to do it for the guys that made the pit stop after some of the collisions that happened in the first lap. And hey. But I was going to say, Harrison needs to win this race. However, he needs to get back into his car if he can. Being a ghosting car, that's not going to help him. He's going to fall down this order relatively quickly, especially with Daiguerre right there. Wonder if he can get himself in or not. Thinking about making a call. The safety car being out, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do something really quickly. I usually don't do this. It'll only take me a couple seconds. I'm going to go to here. See if I can get Harrison back in. He's not even online. Okay. So, Yo Robbie gets a 5-second with a clear collision with Pepsi. So that is not going to help him out one bit. Should be one more lap around this track with the safety car. This is really going to benefit a lot of the guys that are on the soft compound, so they're going to be able to take those tires a little bit longer. Probably till around lap, I'm thinking 10 or 12 in between that time. Yeah, unfortunately for this, Daigero really wants to go, but he's got to stick behind the ghosting car of Harrison. Harrison, if you can get yourself back in, that would be, the best thing. Everybody's pulled up to the back, though. Rashi and Dolshank there swapping positions. Let's look back through. Gonna jump back with Goat. So the safety car should pull in this lap, and Goat will have the right to set the pace. So these guys are gonna have to be respectful and watch when he goes. He might actually try to bunch this guy's up behind him just enough so he can break away. Dark mark 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. That might need to be looked at. I know safety car penalties come in harsh and thick. So what can these guys do once they, should get the call now? Safety car is in this lap. So now it is up to go to set the pace for these guys. You can see he's bunching them up as much as he can. Easy that these guys don't overtake or don't bump each other. Right on through. Look at the path that's being bunched up by Goat. He has the right to set the pace, so these guys are going to have to be careful. Goat doing everything he can to warm those medium compounds. You don't want the temperature to drop or those things will feel like ice. When is Goat going to go? Safety car is yet to pull into the pits just yet, so he should get the green just about now. When is he going to stomp on it? He stomps on it just now. He's on his way. Looks like Dolshank gets a 5-second collision with Terminator. I did see another one. Didn't see quite who it was. So Harrison still ghosting a bit. And that has allowed Raisin and Daigero. What has happened to Daigero? I think he's got an illegal overtake. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. There goes Harrison. Third dinner has gotten collected. Not sure what happened there. Who was that got knocked off? Oh, a bit of argy-bargy between three wide. It's not going to work up this hill, guys. Keep it clean. Enzo up to P7. Good to see Enzo up there. Following the ghosting car of his championship rival. Sector 3 yellow. Not sure who that was for. Your Robbie has retired from the session. It looks like Dolshank has dove for the pits. However, Benny right up there now fighting against Alsostig. Alsostig has found himself up to P2 after what happened to Daigero and, falling back behind, trying to let Harrison through. I think he's got a penalty for that. Yeah, that's going to have to be looked at, Carlos. That is super unfortunate for Daigero. I think he overtook him just before it was allowed to. Pepsi and Livid, the two Racing Point drivers. It looks like Livid's just let Pepsi through. How is Attic doing? He's following Dark Mark in the Reliant. He's missing yet another end plate, it looks like. So he's had another collision with somebody. Speedy not too far behind. However, Bredigo just put his foot down. 3.8 seconds now separate himself and Stig. And Stig has a mirror full of Benny that's right behind him. However, Daigero is pulling back in. Terminator's right there as well. Terminator's going to think about it. Look, a little bit of a lag glitch. Looks like Terminator puts the car just in the right moment. Brodigo gets the fastest lap so far of the race. Terminator and Daigero side by side. Where is Terminator going to put the car? It looks like Daigero's trying to fight as much as he can. Terminator's going to go to the inside. Bit of a touch. Side by side, they're going to still follow. Let's ride on with Raisin as these guys are going to battle out going up El Rouge. This might not work. Guys, who's going to back out? Both are going to hang on. Whoa, bit of it. Whoa! That was huge. That was huge. Daguerre got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Daguerre holds on though. Dinner gets on through. Terminator has found himself way down the order now. I think he's clipped the inside curb and lost the traction on there. So now Dark Mark has gotten passed by Attic. How about the battle at the front? Benny is riding behind, also Stig. Enzo now found himself up at P5. Harrison has joined, good to see him through. Oh, it looks like Third Dinner's clipped the inside wall. He's left a bit of his end plate leaving behind. Whereas Harrison now, he's got to get back into his car. Daguerre right there. Can Harrison get back into his car? However, we're going to drive back through. Benny has lost a little bit of time to Stig. Stig's, stint with these mediums might come into play. As Benny is on the soft. I think he's losing a little bit of time now. Daguerre and Third Dinner. Let's look through. Ratchy now on the Toro, racing against Harrison. Has Harrison got back into his car? Not yet. Daguerre is going to think about a move on Third Dinner. We're looking to ride with these two. Daguerre is going to go to the outside. DRS is enabled now for these drivers. Side by side they go into the final corner. A little bit of a push wide. Racing sets the fastest lap of the race. It is getting bargy here. 3 wide, respectively. Harrison gets back into his car. Good to see Harrison back. Oh no, what has happened to Daguerre? We might need to look at that. Virtual safety car is alive and well. Stig has retired from the race as well. Oh no. Where his Stig crashed. Up the top of El Rouge. So Attic, Dark Mark, Speedy up positions now. Virtual safety car is out. Pepsi's going to move his way up. Easy does this. Pepsi goes up the top of El Rouge. There's the destroyed Alfa Romeo sitting there. Terminator is on his way out of the pits. He's set the hards to take those to the end. This has been a very, very questionable race, I will say so. If I'm, going to be completely honest, these guys are very, very punchy this evening. I think a lot of them just need to calm down. So the green flag is back. DRS is available for these drivers. Brother Goat now finds himself into a battle with Benny. Raisin not too far behind Benny. Enzo, our championship leader, is found himself from pretty much near the last place on the grid to P4. Sector 2 yellow, what has happened? Dark Mark has found himself off. Pepsi's going to come through. Drive back through. Harrison now fighting all over Harrison, or Third Dinner. And Rashi's right there for any takings if anything happens in between those guys. Racing now with Benny. Woo, that was close. Is Raisin going to hold to the outside line? Benny's going to hold the inside line. Raisin really breaks late. Benny's going to go to the inside, maybe for the cutback. Here we go. Benny goes for the cutback, makes it stick. They're going to go side by side down this start-finish line into turn 1. Looks like Benny has a better run. Pulls the car back ahead of Raisin. All the while, this is helping go pull away like crazy. The gap now at the top, 5.3 seconds. Enzo is right there in the wake as well, riding up on board with Enzo up El Rouge. Terminator, 3-second time penalty. Look at Raisin and Benny, side by side. There goes Raisin. Benny's going to try to pull back into the tail. However, Enzo's right there. I think Enzo's on the charge with what happened to him in qualifying. Harrison does get around Third Dinner, so now he's on a chase to try to catch up to his teammate. And his teammate, his championship leader, his championship rival, that is, if I can say it correctly. Harrison is 3.4 seconds down the road from his championship rival. Here we go, running on through. Third Dinner trying to stick with Harrison. Livid now with Rashi. Atticus found himself up to P9. He should be able to get himself a little bit further up with a couple of the guys ahead of him running soft compound 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. Could be on the take for Attic. He is missing an end plate, so he's probably going to have that switch when he goes on the soft towards the end. You can tell he's really fighting the car in the turn-in. Harrison now 2.9 seconds behind Enzo. Enzo right behind Benny. However, the gap at the top, Racing is starting to pull that down a bit. 4.9 seconds separate himself and Bruttigoat, the McLaren driver, leading this Grand Prix. We're going to ride with Enzo as he's battling the Benny. Going to go up El Rouge here. And then down the Camel Straight. Any of these guys lifting? No, Enzo doesn't lift at all, so he's got a really good run here. He's going to have DRS on Benny. Benny's going to hold to the inside line. Enzo's going to go to the outside. Benny pulls back behind to try to stick within that toe. Enzo now trying to chase Raisin ahead of him. The gap is 1.8 seconds. Can he pull that down any further? Benny's going to try to stick with Enzo here. Harrison, however, needs to get himself further off this grid to try to battle Enzo. Attic and Livid side by side they go. Who's going to play chicken here? Looks like, ooh, bit of a touch as Livid goes into the inside, spits the car out just a bit wide. So Attic now really trying to battle here. Can he get himself around Livid? Livid is on soft compound. I feel those soft compounds are starting to die off just a bit. Where is the gaps between each other? We've already lost out 4 drivers, actually 5 drivers of this Grand Prix, only on lap 8. Hey. So the French Grand Prix, bit of controversy, and the Belgian Grand Prix, a lot of controversy. Unfortunately, these things do happen, ladies and gentlemen. So the gap between Attic and Livid is the closest one on track we can see so far. Raisin is pulling the gap down between himself and Bruttigoat, 4.5 seconds. Enzo further down the road, 2.3 seconds between himself and Raisin. Attic has DRS. Speedy is doing really well himself. GP2 driver in reserve this evening for the Red Bull, up to P10. Oh, can't. Let's see. Attic gets a really good run on Attic, or not Attic. Attic gets a really good run on Livid, terminating a 3-second time penalty. However, that's going to allow Livid to have DRS. DRS goes open just about now. What kind of run is Livid going to have on Attic? Side by side, they're going to go into this turn. Attic holds the car wide. Livid backs out, so that is Attic maintaining P8 for the time being. Mark gets a 5-second for exceeding track limits again. Dark Mark is not having a fun time this evening in the Spa Grand Prix. These two are really going at it. I'm going to ride on board with Livid as he's battling Attic. And I have... Oh. I thought for a second I had the... glitch. Sector 1 yellow. Who's that for? It might have been Marcus. It looks like Attic is starting to pull away. He's going to try to collect Rashi just a bit. Where else Harrison has now caught up to Benny. Dolshank is retired from the race. Where is he retired? Oh no. Virtual safety car is out. So I think a lot of these guys... Is Goat going to pull into the pits? No, he does not. He's going to stay out. Also, Stick has left the session. You can understand why. And any of the soft drivers going to pull into the pits. Let's find out. Benny is in. Harrison is going to pull in. Very tricky entrance to the pit in here. And then up this little hill right there is the metered. DRS is enabled, so virtual safety car is over. We're back to racing. Goat goes up the hill. Raisin is going to follow up. Enzo now going up. Couple guys in the pits. Let's put Act up to P5, Speedy up to P6. Pepsi's yet to die for the pits. Benny is coming out on a fresh set of mediums to take them to the very end. Harrison following suit, P8 or P9 with a fresh set of mediums. Dinner, fresh set of mediums. I think he fixed the front end of his wing as well. Yes, he had. No, he hasn't. He's decided not to, so he's going to maintain that front wing without the end plate on the right-hand side. Maybe he didn't want to lose enough time to these guys ahead to try to stick with them. Dark Mark right there in P12. Harrison now with Benny. Terminator has left the session, can understand why. Unfortunate luck for a lot of these drivers this evening. This track will jump out and bite you at any moment if you don't have the concentration. Benny and Harrison really battling it out here. Wondering when the medium compound guys are going to dive in for the pits as well. I wonder if they can possibly take them to the end. I don't think they will be able to. Looking through, looks like this Pepsi is starting to catch Speedy just ahead of him. We'll jump back on with those guys in just a bit. Looks like Pepsi has yet to pit yet. He's going to keep those softs on for a while. He is catching Speedy ahead of him though. Attic is starting to catch Rashi as well ahead of him. Rashi, GP2 driver. Is he going to have DRS? He does have DRS. Is he going to pull closer to him? I think he's going to be a little too far behind to make a move. He is, so he's going to tuck behind. How about Harrison? He's going to make a move on Benny. Inside and outside, side by side. He's going to let him go through. So Harrison up to P8. Can he make an attack here on the guys ahead? He's really going to have to put his foot down if he wants to try to catch the guys that have yet to pit, that are still on the medium compound, like Goat. Wonder when Goat's going to pit lap 11 of 22. Softs, as you can see, some of the guys like Pepsi have done 9 laps on these softs. These softs, I can see a bit of wear on the front left. Sector 1 yellow, looks like Marcus. It is Marcus, he is out of this Grand Prix. Virtual safety car again, so it's only going to extend the life of some of these guys on the medium compounds like Rashi, Enzo, Raisin, and Brotogoat. Brotogoat actually does pull in the pits though. Raisin does not. Is Enzo going to do the same? He stays out as well. So Goat might have a free pit out of this. Depending on how long the virtual safety car stays out, into the pits he goes. Soft compound is going on. Virtual safety car is still active. Dark Mark has left the session. Vertigoat is out, so that was pretty much a free pit stop on his end. On his way out on a fresh set of soft compounds until the end. Attic is dove for the pits as well, so he's going to do the same. Virtual is still alive. Is he going to get a new front wing out of this as well? Looks like he is. Virtual safety car is over, so he's gotten pretty much half of his time. Livid's there. Attic is on his way out. Pepsi now following Speedy. Speedy gets a little shy up on top. Gets a 3-second time penalty. Pepsi's going to have a look to try to overtake Speedy. It's going to go to the inside. Side by side they go. Pepsi up to P5. How's Rashi? Rashi's doing really well so far. Up to P4. Rotogoat now in P3 after pitting for a brand new set of soft compounds. When is Raisin and Enzo going to pit? How long are they going to take those medium compounds for? Only time will tell. Let's see, if their gap, Speedy and Pepsi is still pretty close. It is the closest battle on track so far. Anybody getting super close? No, so we're going to stick on board with Speedy now. One second behind. Third Dinner gets a 3-second time penalty. How is Third Dinner doing this evening? He is down in P9 on a fresh set of mediums, so he's going to try to take those to the end, which should easily do so. Attic in P10. Fresh set of softs to go to the end. We have 9 laps remaining of this Grand Prix. What can happen? It probably will happen. Raisin and Enzo decide not to pit just yet. So those guys are extending the life of the medium compounds. Goat has left from the session. That is unfortunate. Pepsi has left from the session. What has happened here? A couple of guys have gone off. Rashly gets a 3-second time penalty. I wish I could get them back in. I can't do that on my own. Hopefully they know to jump back in through my name or one of the drivers that are currently here. So Pepsi is ghosting. Speedy is on his way through. Speedy might get his way up past Pepsi. As long as Pepsi is still ghosting, hopefully Pepsi can get back in. Rashly, this is really going to work for Rashly. Will Rashly see himself into a GP1 podium this evening? That would be mega for him. Harrison now following Speedy. Can he get his way up through? Harrison has caught the back of Speedy. Benny's right there. It's not too far behind. Ooh, Harrison gets a little bit of a tank slapper. He corrects the car, though, and hangs onto it. He's lost a little bit of time to Speedy, though. Harrison trying to get that gap back down between himself. Is Goat. Goat's car decided to pit him again. I'm not sure why. Goat's car decides to pit him and put him back onto a medium compound, onto another soft compound set of tires. So that is bizarre beyond belief. This is going to benefit a couple people. Attic gets up there into P9. Dinner's right up there. Pepsi's dove for the pits again. I think it's one of the races a lot of these drivers really need to just kind of clear their mind from, chalk it up as just a kind of like a that was a terrible, evening. These things, happen. Pepsi has joined, so he's got himself back in. I wonder if he's going to be a little disheartened to find himself back down to P10 on a fresh set of mediums. However, Raisin has set himself onto the soft compound. Rashly's up to P2, Speedy up to P3, as Enzo did dive for the pits to go for a fresh medium compound till the end. We have just about 8 laps. Whoa! Speedy's really got a tank slapper, and that's allowed Harrison to go through. Harrison now doing what he can. He needs to win this race, but it's going to be a very big challenge with Raisin being in the lead with a fresh set of soft compounds on. Where the gap's close. We had Brother Goat he's still not in his car yet. Let's see, driving through. It's kind of an interesting race. So Benny is in his car. We're going to ride with Benny as he's trying to collect Speedy here. A couple laps remain. Going to dive on board. Harrison does get his way through. Rashly dives for the pits. So Rashly's going to put on the soft compound and take those to the end. Speedy now up to P3. Solid for Speedy this evening. Benny's there at P4. Goat needs to get himself back in that car. Dinner is up to P6. Attic in P7. I wonder what the penalties are going to be situated towards the end. Then he does have DRS on Speedy. Harrison is 5.6 seconds down the road from Raisin. I think Raisin is got this one unless something really bizarre happens and loses control of the car. But I think this might ultimately be Raisin's very good clean race for him to get himself up there in the P1 with a fresh set of softs to take him to the end. Harrison P2, really good comeback from having a disconnection problem at the beginning. However, Benny is on the charge to try to get himself up there and past Speedy. Livy gets a 3-second time penalty. Goat is back into the car, so that's good to see. I somehow missed that. I don't know how. But Goat did get himself back in the car. He should have a good push here towards the end. Yeah, he's going to have a really good push. He's on fresh, soft compounds. But however, Benny is going to attack Speedy here. Look at Attic now on third. Dinner. Is this going to be a battle ensuing? I think Dinner's tires are going to take him a little bit further with grip towards the end. Oh, Speedy's still for the pits, so he's going to put on the soft compound and take him to the end. Goat found himself back up to P4. Benny's up there in P3. Let's put Attic now up to P6, battling third Dinner here. This is going to be quite a battle to the end. Can Attic get himself around third Dinner? Looks like third Dinner is still missing a bit of that end plate. So it's going to be at a disadvantage between himself and Attic. Going up El Rouge. Easy on the entrance. Don't want to lift too much. Attic's got a really good run here. He's going to go for the inside with DRS. He's right on board with Dinner as Attic pulls through, goes back to the racing line. Up goes to P5 on Attic. That should see Attic try to win Brodago just a bit, but however, Brodago is now starting to reel in Benny. Harrison 6.8 seconds down the road from Raisins. Raisins having a really good race this evening. In control pretty much the whole way through, doing what he can, attacking a lot of that curb. Dive back through with these two battling it out for the race. Brodagoat right behind Benny on the inside. Benny goes a little bit wide. Brodagoat's going to tuck behind. Let's ride on board with Brodagoat as he's battling Benny for this position of P3 for the last step on the podium. Oh, nice, beautiful aerial camera. I like these here coming into the final chicane of the track. One to the right and then the other to the left. Goat is going to have DRS on Benny. Looks like Benny gets a better run out of that sector, though. Pulls a little bit away from Goat. Rashi now right behind Pepsi. Oh, and there's Speedy, too, right there. This might be a three-way battle. Let's ride back with Goat as he's going to go up El Rouge and have DRS on Benny. Good clip, better run it seems. DRS is open. He's going to pull Benny in as quick as he can, go to the outside. Will he have this position? Harrison's right there in the battle. Looks like Goat gets himself through on Benny. One up, so he's up to P3. Let's ride with these guys going down the line. Who's in the back here? Woo, bit touchy, Rashi and Speedy. We have Pepsi right here. That was close racing. Really well done, though, for those guys. Oh, no, that's not well done. Rashi and it looks like Speedy have collected each other. And that is going to be a safety car. So we're going to have a 5-lap shootout. What is going on, Harry? So you've just missed some incredibly controversial action. So yeah, we're going to dive through. A lot of these guys are going to have pretty much like I'm thinking Harrison, do you dive for the pits and go for a fresh set of softs and just have a 5 to 6, actually it'd be like a 5 to 4 lap shootout. Guys on the softs like Enzo, this works well for Enzo's case as well as Speedy's, but he's going to definitely have to pit because he's missing his entire front wing and it's a long lap around until he can get himself back in. So this might put Livid back into the conversation. Anybody diving for the pits? Harrison does dive for the pits. Goat goes on through, so he's going to stay on those soft compounds. Benny goes on through. Harrison on his way out. Looks like Attic's going to dive for a new set of soft compound. Dinner does the same. I think Dinner's probably going to fix his wing. Pepsi's going to dive for the pits. Enzo, I'm sure, will not dive for the pits. Attic back through. Where is that going to put Enzo? Is Enzo going to overtake Attic? Attic is on his way out now. Where is Enzo? It looks like Attic's going to come out P5. So Harrison P4. Benny is in P8 with 8-lap-old mediums. So Raisin having a huge gap between himself and a lot of the guys at the beginning for the last stint have now suffered with a safety car issue. So now the guys are right behind him for the last remaining laps of this race. And a couple of them, Harrison, Attic, Enzo, have pretty fresh tires to go to the end. Dinner, Pepsi, Speedy, who's just come out of the pits now. Where's Livid? He's on his way out as well. So when you think it's over, it's never truly over. Yeah, Wrath, that's what I was thinking. A couple of the guys decided to stay out. Benny's decided to stay out. I wonder if he's going to pit now. A couple of the guys pulling back up. This has been a interesting race, to say the least. I wonder how long this safety car will stay out. Where are the remaining guys? You have so Pepsi and Livid and Speedy are the ones that need to collect the back of the train, really, the queue that is following the safety car. So they'll probably be going around one more time. So lap 19, the safety car will pull in, and we'll have pretty much a 2 to 3 lap shootout. Racing doing really well. I'm going to give this guy a shout out too. He's done really well to keep himself contained, get himself up through the field. He is currently in a championship leader, and if positions stand right as they are now, he will become the Division 1 GP1 champion of the season. So possible good shout out for Enzo if he could do it. Harrison has to win this race, and Harrison's sitting on fresh softs to take him to the end. He's going to have to battle through Benny, Goat, and Raisin, which is no easy feat. Looks like some of the guys are peeling back up. Looks like Speedy's coming up to the queue line right now, up the hill. And it looks like Livid is just around turn 1. He's going to collect these guys and should be back to green flag racing. So his safety car has been so interesting, the second part of the season. We've seen a lot of it. It's caused a lot of different outcomes to show themselves. I had a feeling we were going to see a safety car towards the end of this race. Also, Carlos is he's giving me the lowdown. So even if positions stand, even if Harrison does win, Enzo will win this championship unless Enzo crashes. Enzo would be on the mercy of Harrison because Harrison would have to win. But however, that being the case, this might be this man right here, his race to win the championship. So you might see some donuts from him come towards the end of the race. Really good season so far. He's had a couple controversial moments, but he's had himself stuck in for most of the races. Safety car is in this lap, so this could be the last few laps that Enzo has to put in cleanly to pick up the SF1 GP1 Season 7, I believe it is, championship. What can Harrison do? He can only hope. But that would leave those guys going into the final race next week with nothing to win. It's all to play for. Here we go. Will Enzo bunch these guys up towards the pack? Raisin not really looking to battle too much. Goat's right there. Here we go. The start of the race. Raisin pulls through. Back to green flag racing for a 2-lap shootout. These guys will not have DRS for the remainder of the race. There are only 2 laps. What is going to happen here? Racing goes through a bit of a bump from gear. Ooh, a couple of guys getting a little argy-bargy into the gearbox. No damage that's done though. Up through the hill, Enzo right there. Let's ride with the championship leader right now. Sector 1 yellow. Third Dinner is retired from the race. What has happened? He's gone off in El Rouge. That is unfortunate for Third Dinner. I'm not sure what happened there. What are the penalties going to do and play out of this? Raisin right there. Harrison getting a little bit into the gravel. Goat really trying to stick on board. Harrison right there. But we're going to ride with our championship leaders. We're going to battle through here. And to it does get a 3-second time penalty. What can Attic do? I don't think I've seen Attic's name pop up on that penalty box at all. So he might jump a lot of positions here. I'm not sure of the penalty situation from him ahead. Look at the guys fighting for all these positions. They're going to come around to the penultimate lap this time. Once they cross the start-finish line, Enzo gets a really good run. He's going to have a look at Attic. Attic's trying to peel with these guys ahead of him. He is in hot lap as Enzo's in overtake. Ooh, these guys ahead of him, Harrison and Benny, are going to die for it. Easy on the brakes. Side by side they go. It's getting punchy now. Looks like Harrison's gotten around Benny. Raisin sets the quickest lap of the race so far with a 146.1. Ooh, is Harrison going to think about it? He's going to go for the inside look on Benny. Benny's going to allow it. Benny might have a runaround though. Will he go for the switchback up El Rouge? He's going to ride with Harrison or Attic. And these guys might go side by side up El Rouge. I think Benny's going to back out and let Harrison have that position. Enzo follows through. Speedy right there. So the Racing Point trying to collect P2 in the championship with the combined, doing what they have to right there in P8 and P9 just to survive this race. Benny holding on to Harrison. Attic right there. Benny gets a 3-second time penalty, so that's going to be major towards the end of this race. From ultimate lap of this race. Then Goat get Racing. He's got just a lap and a half to get this done. He's got to think about when he can make his move. He's not going to have DRS to do it. Raisin has 63% of his battery. Goat has 46. Look at Attic and Benny. Side by side they go. EC in the touch. I don't think there was a touch made, but it was really close if there was. Enzo's thinking about making a move now on Benny. Let's ride with Enzo. Flips the curb beautifully. Both of them ride the curb in the exit. Benny's right there. Benny's really, I think, really trying to hold on to that car. 11 lap old mediums compared to all these guys that are on completely fresh soft. Benny taps the grass just a bit. Beautiful aerial camera again. Look at Speedy. Speedy's thinking about having to go with these guys as well. Final lap of the race. Oh, these guys will have DRS for the last lap. Harrison sets the quickest lap, so that's going to help him. What is going to happen? Goat is going to have DRS. Will he be close enough to Raisin? Harrison will not have DRS on Goat. Benny is right there on Attic. Enzo right there. Let's ride with Speedy as we go up the hill. One final sip of my coffee because it's going to get intense. Side by side, Enzo and Benny go. Looks like Enzo's going to opt. Give Benny just a bit of a squeeze. Let him know he's there. Easy on the brakes. Enzo locks up. Benny follows suit in behind Enzo. Speedy really getting a little punchy, trying to get around Benny. Ooh, this is getting big. Can Goat have anything to say here? He's got half a lap to do so. It's in Sector 2. One sector remains, pushing the car as hard as he can. Almost clips the inside of that wall to chip off a bit of his end plate, but he keeps it clean. It looks like he's starting to fall just a bit behind Raisin. Raisin puts up the gap 8 tenths, 9 tenths now. Harrison doing all he can in P3. Attic right there in P4. Is Attic going to jump a couple of these guys to get himself further up the grid? Did really well yesterday in the French Grand Prix. No penalties, got himself into P2. Might be the case as well this evening. How about these guys? Benny fighting Speedy. Speedy got his way through. Pepsi's right there. Jump back on board with the Racing. This is coming across the last part of this track. Who am I going to talk to in this podium interview? I have no idea. Raisin, last few chicanes, comes across. And it's going to pick up the victory at the Belgian Grand Prix. Goat crosses. Harrison crosses. Attic, is he going to cross? Stays only P4, Enzo P5. Benny, oh, I missed what happened. So Benny dropped down to P8. So there you have it. Raisin picks up the victory. Goat P2 and looked like Harrison crossed the line in P3. So Harrison did all he could, but that will mean that Enzo wins the championship in SF1 GP1 for this season, season 7. So before we get into everything, I'm congratulating that man who saw left the session. A big congratulations, for him and his season. Really well done. Harrison's probably going to come across the line P2 at the end of the season, but we're going to give you guys the rundown here. It is going to be quite an interesting one, to say the least. Let me run through. Racing picks up the win at the Belgian Grand Prix, followed by Brother Goat P2. Really well done. Harrison P3, Attic P4. Really clean race. Got himself up to P4. Pepsi P5, Enzo P6, Speedy P7, Benny P8, Livid P9. Unfortunately, we do lose out Dinner. We lost out Rashi. We lost out Darkmark. Dolshank was lost. Exterminator lost. Sig lost. And Daigero as well. Robbie, Whiffy, and Knot are all the guys that we lost out, unfortunately, in that race. So let me jump through. So it's Raisin, Harrison. So I'm going to have to jump through, go to these podium interviews. Let me get these guys in. I need... this is going to take me a bit. That was quite an interesting... And... Okay. Harrison is in. We're just waiting on a couple of the other guys to go. All right, we got everybody. I don't think Raisin's probably going to show up.
Kicking me out.
I do hear you guys. There we go. All right, so that was probably one of the hardest.
Need to fix this game.
Yeah, race. Both of you actually, yourself and Harrison, were kicked from the race.
You need to fix this game.
But I'm gonna say, both of you guys, congratulations. Okay. Harrison, we'll start with you. P3 after that connection loss.
I'll hear.
Huh?
Can you hear him?
Harrison, can you speak for us quick?
No, I can't either.
I can't hear him. So we'll start with Harrison.
Sort your game, Codemasters. I hope you're watching, you dickheads.
But congratulations, Harrison. After the disconnection, you really just had to get yourself back into the lobby and fight for what you could. Unfortunate that, the championship kind of ended itself this evening, but you got yourself on the podium, a good stamp of points. After you got back into that race, after the disconnection, talk us through your race.
Talking on stream.
Yeah, he's talking on stream, but I can't hear him in the party. Kyle, I can't fucking hear you.
You can't hear me. There we go. I had my mic muted. My fault. It's been an afternoon, that's for sure. Harrison, after the disconnection, you had to get yourself back in, and you did everything you could. You got yourself on the podium. Just not enough this evening as Enzo crossed the line to pick up the championship, but a good bag of points to get yourself up there. You go into US Grand Prix, nothing to lose next week. What are your mindset? How was your race? Just talk us through it.
You talking to me, yeah?
I was talking to Harrison.
Oh, fair. Go on, Harrison.
Well, I'm not happy with the disconnection because I know that I could have probably got past Goat after the safety car period, but the game disconnected me and Xbox decided to disconnect me as well. So it took 5 minutes for me to reconnect. But I'm happy with what I've recovered. Congrats to Enzo for the championship. I'll come back fighting stronger in the short season after the full-on race.
No, congratulations. Can't take anything away from you. Actually, both you and Goat had a disconnection. So I'm going to move it on to Goat because I'm going to ask him, after you got disconnected, your car actually decided you did one lap on softs and decided to pit you again for another set of softs. So I'm not sure if you knew that or not, but yeah.
Carlos told me, yeah. Cody's really need to sort their shit out for a start. I know I've said it about 40 times, but like that kind of shit can't happen. Like I didn't actually get disconnected on my screen. I was still racing. and it's because of the host or something. But I was still racing on my screen, but everyone left on my screen. But yeah,
That would have caused
was
one
my
mistake left.
yeah, that was my race to lose, and I lost it. I did all I can, but racing is just fucking rapid. So I was kind of banking on being in front of him and just defending, and then as soon as I came back and I was down in 5th or wherever I was, that was out the window really, wasn't it? And then on the last lap I got DRS going up towards Air Rouge, but I was too far back, so not much I could have done.
Well, I mean, yeah, it wasn't just you guys. There were actually a couple people that lost connection, so I think it was just probably the servers. Like you said, Codemasters, thank you so much for a brilliant game. But we'll move it on to give you guys both a question. Last race of the season going into next weekend. Nothing to gain, nothing to lose. You guys looking forward to it? It is a pretty heavily penalized track if you exceed the curbs. I know that for a good, portion of the track.
I'll go first. The Kota's I'd say it's not one of the harsh tracks for track limits. It's up there with Russia, but I do enjoy racing at the track. It's got a lot of good corners, but it is the last race of the season and I've got pretty much nothing to lose. I'll give it my all.
That's the spirit. Just go for it. Go. How are you looking forward to it?
Well, after this week, I'm gonna take no less than a win. If I have to cut every corner through the S section on the last lap to win, I'll do it.
Oh boy.
But nah, I mean, I really do have nothing to lose. I don't have a championship to fight for. The only place I can go is up, so if I didn't race hard already, then you're going to be seeing a whole new type of me next week.
Well, I'm going to send it off. Congratulations to you two. Hopefully your luck carries over into the United States Grand Prix for the final race next week. Same time, same channel, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Sunday. We will have a crown season. We actually finally finished the season too. That's a good sign. So until then, guys, jump back in if you guys want to see these guys race around the COTA circuit. I'll be here on comms like I always am. Congratulations one more time, Harrison. Congratulations, Brother Goat. Congratulations, Raising, who was not here, and congratulations, Enzo, who left the session as well as soon as the race was over. Until next week, we will see you then. Hopefully, you guys all have a great week. Stay safe and enjoy your week. I am completely shot.
Ciao.
That was a long race, but congratulations, guys.
That was
Kyle,
man.
I don't know if you've
pissed.
seen on your news, but McDonald's is shutting over here, all of them.
I'm sure it'll
They're
probably
shutting
happen
everywhere,
over
mate.
here.
Shutting in Ireland too.
So, like I said, stay safe, guys, especially you guys over there. We will see you next week. Until then, SF1
Yeah,
is
well.
signing out.
You were still